How to buy a house with bad credit. Did you even know it was possible that you could go out and buy a house right now, even if you have bad credit? And I'm talking some of the worst credit you could possibly think of. You could still go out and buy a house. People do this every single day, and I'm about to show you how with these simple steps. Remember, this is the channel that provides you an all-access pass to everything cash flow, capital, and credit by ensuring you have the right financial literacies for business success. Stop saying I'm in a side hustle and start saying I'm open for business. Let's dive in. I'm about to show you step by step on how you can buy a house even with bad credit. I'm going to give you my number one secret on how I buy houses every day by skipping the bank. I don't even use the bank in most cases. And last, I'm going to show you the number one tip on how you can buy a house with less than 3% down by being a problem solver. You could practically use a credit card to do this. Hi everybody, I'm Edward Bilder and welcome back. Millionaire, real estate investor, entrepreneur, coach, educator, engineer, dad, whichever you want to call me today. I'm about to crack the code on how you can buy a house even with bad credit because it all comes down to three very simple steps. Step number one, get a mortgage. I know it's a traditional sense, but it is a sense that you could still buy a house even if you have bad credit by going the traditional route by having a mortgage, okay? Now, most of us know the conventional way of getting mortgages. You can simply search online how to buy a house, and the 101 of all mortgages will come up for you, right? Consumer credit, your FICO score, and if you don't know what your FICO score is today, go check it out on one of those free websites like Credit Karma. You can get a free credit score there. But for most of us, where we live today is in the 620 to 640 range of our credit scores, and you can buy a house with a 620 to 640. Most of us want to be in the 740 to 760 range. That's the do whatever I want to do credit type scenarios. But I'm here to tell you, you can still get it done even if you have a 500 credit score. That's considered poor credit, but by way of FHA, first-time homeowners, right? You could still buy a house if you decide you're going to live in it for a year. You could get an FHA mortgage this way, right? Any way it goes, any way you slice this up, you will still need a deposit to get this done. And this is going to range from 5% if you're in that FHA range, up to 20% if you get a conventional loan, and you could go less than 20% on a non-conventional loan, but you have to buy some insurances to make up for that difference of that balance, all right? Now, you will have to give your whole life story to the bank, right? And having good credit will help you with that life story. But even if you have bad credit, it's not going to stop you from not getting that mortgage. You know, some of the main drivers of your credit score are high utilizations and late payments. But if you could explain the why to the bank, they could look past that in some cases. You know, go to your local branches, go to federal credit unions, become members, and those are the types of banks that would lend money to you by explaining the why to them. Maybe you're paying high rent, $1,200 a month, but you could get a mortgage for $800, make that difference of $400 to help you with your credit utilizations, to help you with your late payments. If you could explain that why to the bank, you can still get a mortgage going the traditional way. So it has to be step one, all right? And this is where step number two comes in, because maybe you want to skip right past the bank, okay? Maybe you don't want to go the traditional route of getting a mortgage and you want to skip the bank. I do this all the time. I skip the bank to save myself time, all right? Yes, of course, I'm always out buying more real estate for my Airbnb business. I have mortgage lenders lined up for me left and right, but it takes a long time to execute on those mortgages. Up to 90 days in most cases. Most all cases takes about 90 days. And I have all this capital that's tied up in escrow for those 90 days, right? So it slows me down in the process of scaling my Airbnb business. So I always start when I'm searching the markets. Let's say I want to enter a new market or expand in a market. I always start my property search by looking for sale by owner properties, rent to own properties, or lease option properties. You could actually throw these into search engines and you could find lists of these properties that are out there, okay? Now, if you find a for sale by owner property that's in your market, most of the time for sale by owner properties are looking for some kind of solution to a problem. Maybe they got this inherited property and they just want to dump it, or maybe they're trying to avoid tax implications and they want to dump the properties, or maybe they're just trying to reduce their inventories. Maybe they have multiple properties and they're ready to cash in on them. All right. Any way it goes, you're trying to solve a problem for somebody else, and if you approach it in that sense, they're willing to negotiate with you by saying, "Hey, I see you have this problem. I can solve it for you. Let's start negotiating, okay?" I happen to love for sale by owner properties because I can negotiate with them rent to own or lease option properties by explaining to them, hey, look, you're still going to get a deposit. In some cases, it could be up to 20%, but you can negotiate that down to something smaller. They're not going to have to pay a realty fee, right? No realtors are involved in this whole process. You could close in 10 days, very quickly to close, right? You don't have to wait 90 days to get your money or get this transfer occurring, right? And they could charge interest and practically double their gains, right? They get to be the bank and charge you interest in rent-to-own processes and lease option properties, right? Now, the big secret that most of them don't know about is that you could have a tax benefit by going rent to own or lease options by deferring your capital gains up to 30 years. Imagine if you didn't have to pay your capital gains on a $200,000 property and you could push that down the road for 30 years and really never have to pay it. That is a huge tax benefit for many people out there selling their properties, all right? Now, I didn't use any credit to get this done. I didn't use a bank to get this done, and I took control of that property within 10 days rather quickly, right? So you can see how it could be to my advantage for me, who I'm out running an Airbnb business. I want quick turnover on my money, and I want to get these things listed and on the sites as quickly as possible and start turning them into cash flowing machines. Check it out. Wow, I'm revealing all of my biggest secrets in this video. Remember to hit the like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm and become a subscriber to get access to future videos. If you want me to go into more depth on any of the subjects that I'm talking about in this video, leave a comment. That's the best way to do it, and I'll post it inside the next video. The best secret to growing wealth quickly, which I learned myself, is to take others along with you, okay? So share this with all of your friends and family, and let's get back into the video. Step number 3, subject to. You gotta be saying, what's subject to? You can literally buy a house with a credit card or as low as 3% down to get that property by being a problem solver for the current homeowner. If you could find homeowners that are at high risk of foreclosure and they're in that market that you're looking to purchase a property in, and you could explain to them the benefits of being able to walk away clean, not having a foreclosure on their credit, not having even a bankruptcy on their credit. All these things kind of always go hand in hand. They could basically walk away clean if you could demonstrate to them that you have the ability to catch up their mortgage payments of approximately $5,000 to $12,000 is the usual range, if they agree to do a subject to. Subject to literally means that you keep the original mortgage in place in their name, but you take it over by catching up their late payments. Now, it usually comes down to right around 3%, maybe a little higher, because 3 late mortgage payments is usually the equivalent of about 3% of that overall cost of that property. A $200,000 property, 3% is around $6,000, and that can usually be about 3 late payments on your mortgage if they have like that 8 to 12% interest rate on the actual note itself. Here we saved time, we saved money, no credit was needed, and you could literally do this with a credit card, right? If you have a credit card that has availability of $5,000 to $12,000, you could take over that subject to property. I have students that do this all of the time. They take over properties, they list them on Airbnb, and then down the road, they refinance that property, getting the property into their own names under their own mortgages, removing the burden from the original homeowners, and taking that time away, having the property transfer within 10 days versus the 90 days is really what you're after here, right? Time is no longer an issue when you're simply refining the property. You could do that 6 months down the road. You don't have to worry about wasting time and holding your money in escrow. While you're waiting for your mortgage to go through before you could go out and list your property, you can get into this rather quickly. Okay, bonus step number 4. I love to give you guys bonuses. I talked about this throughout the entire video, but bonus step number 4 is start an Airbnb using these models: for sale by owner, rent to own, right? Lease options, and subject to. Once you establish an Airbnb business and have cash flow coming in, cash is no longer the problem for your expansion. Only time is the problem for your expansion, right? So this is a great method for you to go out and acquire new properties with little cash flow and expand quickly. In some cases, it only takes 10 days to take over those properties. Check out my other videos on more details on how to get this done. Wait, don't go anywhere yet. I have a bonus step number 5 for you, and that is merchant processing loans. Once your Airbnb is off the ground and running, you will begin to generate high volumes of transactions and high dollar transactions in your merchant processing accounts. These are accounts like PayPal and Square, and you can use PayPal and Square to fund your expansions by way of business credit. There are several steps that you need to take to get this done the right way to establish business credit. So check out my other playlist. I'll link it above here, and check out all my videos on business credit. Wow, it was a great video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join the channel. If you guys are starting an Airbnb business for the first time and you need my help, go to the description and join my email list. You can check out also in the description my crash course on how to start an Airbnb for as little as a $50 bill. You could get into the Airbnb game and start cash flowing in 3 business days, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. I do this repeatedly. When I want to scale that process up, I just keep repeating this process over and over again. Once you learn the system, it's pretty scalable and really easy to do. You can scale quickly. I also do one-on-one coaching. You can find me in the description to sign up for an appointment. Guys, I hope you take these actions today and get started. I'm going to catch you guys all in the next one. Bye for now.